Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Swanson, and I'm here today to talk to you about the reason why wolves should be regulated more population wise in northern parts of North America. But first, I'm going to introduce my audience. To my right is Greg White Oak from Princeton, Minnesota, and over here is Nick Whitty from Hutchinson. So, let's get down to business. First, we got to realize why the wolf population needs to be regulated in the first place. And a lot of problems have been coming up just recently in the past 4 or 5 years with the increase in wolf population. It's not obviously going to affect cities, obviously like not San Francisco, New York, places like that where there's high population of human life, but basically where we all live predominantly in the northern part of Minnesota and where I come from, northern Wisconsin, it's kind of a bigger deal. So, for starters, there's actually a story that I'm going to kind of tell. Back in Baldwin, Woodville, Wisconsin, there was a story about a man, I'll just name him Rob, was biking on a trail, biking trail. It was posted biking for people who lived around there, just to bike through it. And he was biking through, just minding his own business, and he was startled by a sound behind him, a growl. He was going probably about 15 miles an hour, not even, and he was being followed by a wolf. So he kept pedaling on, kind of wanted to ignore it, kind of go away. It was late towards dusk, and he turns around and he's being followed by two more. So now, technically, a whole pack is following this man on a bike, and so he starts to pedal faster. He tries to get out of the way of the wolves and tries to flag down a car. So he actually veers off into a highway and tries to flag down a passerby coming by on the highway. So he eventually does, and he is saved. But obviously the wolves didn't want to lick his face, and the wolves didn't want to be friendly with him like domestic animals. I'm sure they were hungry, and I'm sure they were looking for food and something to eat that night. And, they looked at this man and they thought, hey, might as well give it a try. So there's a lot of dangers to that, obviously. I definitely wouldn't want my kids being outside in and around the woods where there's a good chance of hungry wolves being around. And I'm not saying that your kids shouldn't go out and have fun and be in the woods. I'm not going to say that at all. But I'm just saying we got to kind of raise awareness to the rising population of wolves. The danger threat is not only to human life, even though they can come in and harm the livelihoods of farmers, especially with livestock. There's been a couple cases, a couple dozen actually, of farmers losing cattle to rabid wolves because they were hungry. And we just got to raise awareness to that. So they do pose a threat, not just to human life and human living, but also to animals and their ecosystem. Because if there's an abundance of wolves, abundance of these predators, and they wipe out all of their prey, then they're going to have no choice but to either leave and find a new source of food, or they're going to starve and die because there's not going to be enough abundance of food to account for all the animals that they have, or all the wolves that need to eat. So what we can do is we can look at these cases and look at the rise in the population, and we can say, all right, so what are we going to do to stop it? Well, first of all, we need to have the wolf population decline. And in many cases, we can have that decline by regulating hunts, like we do for deer, other small game, like fox. You can even do bear tags. Even though bear tags are harder to get, we can regulate that yearly or even monthly, depending on where the wolf population varies. So if we stick to a system kind of like that, where we have hunters go buy tags, be legit, and go get a tag and go respectfully hunt these animals down, until we get the population down to a controlled level, then we will be able to slow down the wolf population and keep it to a steady rate. Because I'm not for wiping out the whole entire wolf population. So the wolf has obviously been in the northern Midwest since anyone can remember, and has been one of the top predators in the food chain. It should definitely be regulated to a sustainable level to keeping the wolf alive, but not overrunning the land with these predators, like I said before. We've kind of been overlooking them, and a lot of people in the cities have been overlooking this because it doesn't affect them personally. But I know from experience, because I have friends and even some family members that own cattle farms, whether it's beef cattle or dairy cattle, and they've had this problem and almost lawsuits on their heads because they've tried to protect their cattle by use of firearms, and they had harmed or killed a wolf, and they've been technically protected by some people because they didn't want the wolf to be endangered or harmed that way, even though some head of cattle can be very expensive, and it's a way of life. It's a way of making money for some of these people. So if we do a hunting and regulated wolf hunting season for a couple weeks to a month, a little bit longer, with a rifle or any type of gun, I guess, that is going to be enough to stop the animal, I think that would be a very good answer to this problem. So finally, the DNR government needs to look at this situation and think about the safety of others and the safety of the people that are most affected by these areas. And we need to put more action, legal action, into the law. So if we keep on doing these things, we can definitely be more productive and have safer outdoors for family, friends, and people who are just trying to make a living. So just have an awareness for the wolf population growing, I guess. Thank you.